Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Terrence Wood, writer of Before You Go Pro. I'm super excited today to pitch this Kickstarter project to you. I grew up in the family business, and for me, as you may be able to see, the family business is football. My grandfather was a Hall of Fame defensive back for the Green Bay Packers back in the late 60s. His name's Willie Wood. My father played and eventually had a USFL shot and played some semi-pro ball. And naturally me, I grew up with a ball in my hand. The business was really sparked for me when I had a chance to see my grandfather get inducted into the National Football League Hall of Fame. At that moment, I knew what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, and I didn't look back. The journey was fabulous, and there was a lot of highs and lows. Once you go from the high school, and you know everybody in the stands and everybody loves you, to major Division I college football, it very much so becomes a business. You have coaches that make multi-million-dollar contracts. There are people who are paying $40, $50 per ticket, if not more. So there are some obligations and there's some changes with the game once it becomes business, and that's what I wasn't prepared for. And unfortunately, what you saw with my career was the roller coaster ride. When I found that I was disappointed at the end with what my career ended up being, that's when I started writing a book. The book was very, very bitter in the beginning. It was me kind of pointing a finger at the industry and blaming the industry for my mishaps. I was by all means not focused on the vision that I had since I was a little boy of eventually one day following in my grandfather's footsteps and playing in the NFL. So I started writing the book when I was playing in the Arena League after fumbling some NFL opportunities. But as I grew as a man, as I grew within business and met some really, really big business owners and good people, I started going more into self-growth and self-help. And what I found was the book changed. And the book changed from something that was almost a bitter diary to something that kids could actually get something out of that wanted to pursue the game of football and big-time football.
When we first hooked up with Coach Wood, it was about Aaron's freshman or sophomore year at Archbishop Reardon in San Francisco. And you're talking about hooked up. We hooked up with this coach. He not only took Aaron under his wings, but he was Aaron's instructor throughout the 4 years at Reardon High School, throughout football. He bettered him in every sense of the word. He stayed on him regarding his GPA. He called him constantly. Constantly, he was his first, second, and third son. But the whole thing was, Aaron, you are a player. You are a D1 player. And Aaron's dreams began to fly from that day on. This Before You Go Pro really gives you the instructions, the discipline. There is a before. There's no way you can just jump right into anything without preparing yourself, and that's what Coach Wood has done for my son and for our family.
I would say to anybody, this is what most of us are missing. And I remember at Reardon in his senior year, all the parents were expecting their children to get scholarships, and basically not many of them got scholarships. But Before You Go Pro came along and just lifted us and really encouraged us. And I think that young men need to be mentored, you know, because if whatever level, wherever you're trying to achieve in life, if you don't have a mentor, a life coach, or somebody that's already there, that's done it before, that can show you the way or point you in the right direction, sometimes you just get lost. You don't know what to do next, you know. But if you got somebody like a program Before You Go Pro to come along and help you and show you the ropes and get you exposed and get you out there, that's a great plus.
As you know, when you're trying to start a project like this, there's a lot of expenses that come with it, whether it's professional editing, whether it's turning it into an ebook or a standard paperback or hardback book. But the bottom line is that I've worked with many kids since my playing career was over, and more I see the ones that do succeed are the ones that know the nuggets about the business and about how to navigate within the business, as opposed to the ones that just are solely focused on the field aspects of their game.
And the biggest thing is we had the before you go pro. Now we can actually execute everything we were told now on that before level. Again, if there was no before, meaning if there was no Coach Wood, I'm not sure we would even be in D1 at this point.
We waited, we were patient, we followed the leadership before you go pro, and it has really turned out to be a tremendous blessing. And I keep reiterating that because that's what it is. It's a blessing for us.
Once again, I need your help. This project is gonna move, and it can move a lot faster, and we can help a lot more kids this upcoming fall if you feel it within your heart and in your means to help out. Now, we're asking for $12,000 to get this project going and get this book in the hands of the kids who need it. But $12,000 is the bare minimum for really getting this thing to take off. What we really need is to reach $50,000. Now, at $30,000, before you go pro, we'll be able to do free seminars. At $50K, which is really truly our goal, we'll be able to get my network together, whether it's the guys I've played with or guys I've played against or been coached by, or even some of my grandfather's old NFL friends, that we can get together and do an online mentoring program that we already have the blueprint for these kids. We want to build business-minded athletes, not just athletes who only see with the on-the-field vision in mind. They need to have a wider scope, a wider, broader range of the opportunities that are available to them, and be more business savvy. It takes a village to raise a kid, and it definitely takes a village to raise little egotistical athletes at times. So that's why we really need your help and pulling together to get guys who have been there and done this to really put their arm around these kids and help out. So Before You Go Pro has plenty of different incentives for you to help us out. I mean, obviously, through the grace of your heart and good nature, we love anything that you're willing to give. But if you get over $25, we give you an ebook, and if you scroll down on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see other pledges that garner a bunch of cool incentives. I mean, matter of fact, the further you move down the list, you can literally have a free seminar at your school or at a school of your choice for those athletes, those young football players. We also have an incentive where we bring NFL, current or former NFL players along with me for the seminar and provide food and marketing material that you can take home and look over. So, you know, we just really need your help and support. And obviously, I know it's a little easier to help and support if there's some incentive or some backing behind it. So definitely take the time to look on that right-hand side toolbar and find something good for yourself and a pledge that's right for you. Once again, thank you for watching our Kickstarter program. I know a lot of you were directed here, and some of you may just happen to stumble upon it. We obviously thank you for your time and consideration. It's been a lot of hard work getting to this point. We thank you for all of your love and support. Now let's go love on these young football players.